Let's be honest. Most people out there, when they think in terms of change, they figure that they have to actually make different micro changes. And all these micro changes are going to lead eventually to a big, humongous macro change. And because they look at all the different things they have to do, and they become overwhelmed, and they reach a point where they simply say to themselves, it's not worth it, it's not for me, so I'm just going to give up. They'll try for a couple of days, and next thing you know, they're going to give up. They'll try to go to the gym. They'll try to eat properly. They'll try to eat at the right time. They'll try to drink as much water, and they'll try to stay away from certain things. But when they're going to realize that it's taking basically a toll on the overall life they want to enjoy, they're going to simply give up. But what if I were to tell you that success is not an isolated event? It's not something you're going to do and that's just going to remain in this particular area. You can just choose to focus on one particular aspect of your life. And that one particular aspect of your life is going to yield tremendous changes that's going to go on to affect every area of your life. And you will not have to focus so much on many different things, so many different moving parts at the same time, only one moving part, and before you know it, it's simply going to transform the way you see your life. All right? This is something amazing that you don't want to miss. Dimitri, let's get right into it. Two areas I'm going to actually give you as a reference for this particular thing that are called the Excellence Cascade opposition. Two arguments. First of all, let's go with Dr. Gregory Walton out of the University of Stanford. And yes, it's not related to some Walton out of Walmart. He is a different entity. So this gentleman came up with an amazing research. He looked at how some students at Stanford University were conducting their life as far as excellence is concerned, and he came up with some amazing observations. He realized that a number of students were able to improve their performance in one particular area of the overall academic performance. That one performance increased the overall performance in other areas, in other academic areas by 47%. And overall, the performance came to be increased by about 31%. And this excellence, this boost in excellence went on also to cascade into other areas of their life that have nothing to do with academia. That's example number one. Example number two, out of the University of Harvard, some researchers decided to look at about 1,000 people who are actually working in the workplace and to see how basically the people are going to behave when it comes to how to increase their performance overall. Some of these people, about 1,000 of them, they say, we are simply going to focus on one key thing: our sphere of influence. Because we understand that work and business, sometimes everything is not up to us. The market goes up and down. The people you work with, they have mood. One day they wake up, they are happy. The next day they come back, they are absolutely miserable. So you can control that. However, there's one particular aspect of our performance we can control. They say that performance is simply our ability to go to the gym, lift weight, and make sure that we stay healthy and to stay fit on a daily basis. And as they started doing that, guess what happened? About 34% saw a boost all of a sudden as far as the work performance is concerned. A dramatic increase that was not actually observed after hours of executive coaching, after hours of being put on some kind of performance improvement plan. Otherwise, they were going to lose their job simply because, as I say, we're going to focus on what we can manage, which is basically our health. And by doing that, it led to about 34% increase when it comes to the work performance. That's number one. In case you're saying to yourself, 24% increase, that's nothing, I'll simply say, just wait a minute. When it comes to their own personal lives, the relationship outside of work, it improved the overall quality of relationship by about 89%. And when it comes to the own personal finances, it increased the ability to make the right decision when it comes to the finances by 76%. So again, Dr. Gregory Walton out of University of Stanford and the Harvard University that simply focus on the decision made by 1,000 people when it comes to what they could actually control. Let me just give you two examples to show you why it is important to focus on only one key aspect of your life and how this one particular aspect of your life is going to have this cascade experience as far as other areas of your life are concerned. A couple of examples. When this young man, Kobe Bryant, decided to start focusing on his career as a basketball player, and he said that he was going to reach a same level as Michael Jordan, or if not, actually improve to the point he was simply going to overshadow Michael Jordan. People thought he was crazy. But guess what? By the time he was done with his career, the numbers spoke for themselves. That was just the best thing. But similar to the experience of the Harvard University, his ability now to make money and to control money and to increase his portfolio as far as investment is concerned grew dramatically to over $200 million when it comes to how much he was generating as a business entity. That's just number one. His inspiration and work ethics, oh my goodness, went on to spread in other areas of his life. So when he decided to get into filmmaking, guess what? As a rookie, he went on to produce a magnificent work of art that landed him his Oscar as a filmmaker. That was just number two. Number three, even his approach now when it comes to mentoring and coaching the younger generation increased exponentially simply because he decided to focus on excellence on the basketball court, and this excellence translated into excellence in other areas of his life. That was just example number one. Example number two, when Bob Marley in 1972 met Chris Blackwell for the very first time in his life, he had no idea that this one particular encounter, the working relationship, was going to transform his life so dramatically. Let me just tell you how. It transforms his persona dramatically to the point where his political activism led him to become the center of focus as far as Jamaica is concerned in the 1970s. Michael Manley and Edward Seagal were now looking for ways to become friends and close with Bob Marley because they saw how influential this man has become. That was just number one. Number two is a spiritual awakening rose to a point where even his lyrics were now speaking to things that basically had nothing to do with what he was. To the point where in 1976, 1978, 1979, somewhere in Africa, in a country known as Rhodesia, a bunch of soldiers simply said, my goodness, there is a gentleman that wrote a song that seemed to be speaking to us, and that song is Zimbabwe. We're going to embrace this song as basically the anthem that's going to keep us going. To the point where in 1980, when the country eventually became independent, they flew to Jamaica to ask Bob Marley to come all the way to Zimbabwe to perform. And that was basically 8 years later. So this happened because it chose to focus on music and doing music with the level of excellence that the world had never seen before. And that basically the only two examples I'm going to leave on the table with you. Now, let's get back to the science behind this thing called the cascade. How can excellence in one area cascade into other areas of your life? Three things. When it comes to the brain is a very funny instrument. It keeps scores of everything that you do. And when the brain realizes that, yes, you have all of a sudden decided to become a woman or a man of excellence in one particular area of your life, the brain is going to realize all of a sudden, yes, we have to address this thing that we are actually sensing deep within, which is simply called cognitive dissonance. We see that, yes, this person is absolutely become a man or woman of excellence. But however, when it comes other areas of your life, we can see that there's a discrepancy between what is happening in this area of your life and what they're doing in the forefront. So we have to find a way to reconcile or to create a balance between who they are outside and who they are in private, because we have to create congruency between all these different areas of their life. I'll simply call it the neurological balance that basically going to take base deep inside of you as you're doing that. Number two, as you're becoming a different person, you're going to realize that I've become, yes, indeed, someone, a clutch player who knows how to make things happen. I'm not just experiencing flow, making things happen on my own. No, I've become the one person who knows how to make things happen for my community. And that identity is going out to be number three. Now, seen by others. You're going to receive now feedback from the people outside. People say, yes, my goodness, so-and-so has become indeed a different person. Again, neurologically, identity, and also the feedback from the community. They're going to say, yes, you become a different person. And all of a sudden, the expectation of you are going also to increase dramatically. And before you know it, because you're receiving now positive feedback from the people in the community, you say to yourself, oh my goodness, I've become a different person. And this is now the expectation they have of me. I have now to live up to this expectation. And before you know it, your life will have actually changed in a dramatic manner. Let me just end with this one now. A simple assignment I'm going to leave for you. Three things. Choose one particular area of your life that you're going to embrace as the catalyst area as far as transformation is concerned. Is it going to be going to the gym? Is it going to be how you eat, when you eat, what you eat? Is it going to be how you journal on a daily basis? What is it going to be when you go to bed? Whatever area you're going to choose as a catalyst, that's number one. Focus on creating a comprehensive plan as far as what you want to do differently in this one particular area of your life. Number one. Number two, now start documenting the feedback you're getting from your own body as far as image is concerned, as far as a sense of cognitive dissonance is concerned, and as far as how people are responding to you. Start documenting that. And number three, L for what? Leverage. As you're getting positive feedback from the community, as you're getting positive feedback from yourself, seeing that yes, there's been a shift as far as who I am is concerned. What you have to do, you have now to leverage this particular shift, leverage this particular change in the feedback, and make sure it now also translates into other areas of your life. And slowly but surely, before you know, you're going to start seeing radical transformation in your own life. All right? Yeah, so as I've been saying from the very beginning, excellence is not just a one isolated incident in your life. It's one thing that will lead to a radical transformation in other areas of your life. And if you're ready to start applying this principle in your own life and you need my help, please reach out to me and we're going to see how we can help you from wherever you are all the way to the next level. Otherwise, if you've been enjoying this type of videos, I'm simply going to invite you to like this video, leave a comment in the comment section, and share this video as many people as possible so we can continue to grow together as a tribe. Last but not least, remember, excellence is not an isolated event. It's definitely something that will cascade into many other areas of your life. And more specifically, when I said it will create a domino effect in your life, I'm not talking about domino effect in a sense of causing other things to actually fall down. I'm simply talking about a way for everything that was basically broken down to simply all of a sudden be revived and give you a different feedback, and before it, for your whole body to start responding differently, and the people in the community to start responding also differently, and have a different set of expectation as far as who you are is concerned. Why? Because they've simply seen the birth of a new set of standards as far as who you are is concerned. All right, much love.